Welcome back to Studio Talk, and it is Premier League time again. Finally, we can talk about some Arsenal. What is going on, my brother? How do you feel about, as you said, the best team in world football?
Um, you want to save, you want to save the Arsenal for last.
Man, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
To be totally honest, I, 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 I expected this. So, not, I didn't necessarily expect to only lose. And the one game that we lost wasn't really to a team, so we're not even losing a game.
We lose
So,
again, man.
eh?
We lose again. And it hurt me, but continue.
No, the one team we lose is not a team, so it not really count in the grand scheme of things. Anyways, so to go undefeated to this point, you get me as a barring one hiccup. Yeah, yeah. I can't
Man,
say.
even if we count the hiccup, we're at 12. Even if we count the hiccup, we're at 12 games unbeaten. That is still a big deal. So, loving it. Continue, continue.
Call it 13.
Yeah?
Call it 13.
There's a
I,
call it 13.
I don't believe in second chances, but what I do believe is chances at redemption. And that's exactly what Arsenal will be having next week. A chance to undo the one loss that they got, and I think we'll undo it. But as it relates to the Premier League season, as it relates to the Gunners, man, they look like the best team in Europe. Wouldn't you agree?
We're definitely up there. Right now, we're definitely the most unformed team. We're definitely playing the best football, I believe. So I understand saying that Arsenal are the best team in Europe. I'd love to see us, when the Champions League resume. I'd love to, seeing us playing against some of those teams and playing against the best teams. Obviously PSG would have something to say about that. But still, Arsenal playing some good football, man. And some of the players playing the way they're playing. We're talking about Saka just being as consistent as it gets. Martin Odegaard being as consistent as it gets. Ben White playing out of his socks. Aaron Ramsey. I can just go on and on all through this.
Ben White is no longer a central defender. At this
Man, and I believe that if I put him in centre back tomorrow, he might go put in a show-stopping performance. That's just what I believe from Ben White.
at this point, Ben White is a right back. Ben White is the modern right back. He's 6'3". He's strong, but he's powerful, and he still looks technically good. He still looks good on the overlap. Ben White looks outstanding. Saliba started a bit shaky after the World Cup break, but I think he's got his legs back under him, and he responded after two mistakes that would have led to Arsenal conceding in the first two games by coming out strong in this game. Gabriel Magalhaes has retained his leadership role in that back line, looking like the leader of the defense that we expected from him this season. Three magnificent performances by Gabriel. Ali, Zinchenko, what a signing. What a signing by Mikel Arteta. Not to mention Thomas Partey, who does Thomas Partey things.
No, and that's the one. I feel like that Thomas Partey is the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League this year.
And he's definitely been the most consistent midfielder in the Premier League this year. That's for certain. Thomas Partey, I don't think has had less than an 8 all season. He's just been absolutely outstanding all the way through. And Thomas Partey, I think, is the heart and soul of this team. Granite Xhaka has really stepped it up. Very consistent. Definitely not to the level of a party, but Xhaka is so important to this team right now. What he does,
And
outstanding.
you know what I'd say about Granit Xhaka? It's obviously both of them are consistent, but one is consistent at a higher level.
Yeah.
It's just that Xhaka is always going to give you a 7, and it's always going to be good enough.
I
Partey
think
is always
that's
going to
what
give
he's
you
doing
an
as
8.
this season.
Exactly. And then Xhaka is going to give you the odd 8, the odd 9, popping up with the odd goal and assist there and there. So Xhaka is also a consistent player, man, and being one of the best players in the Premier League this year in that box-to-box role.
For
Not
sure.
necessarily up there with the 8 goals and the 9 assists and all of that. But at the end of the day, putting in show-stopping performances, that
And,
just might be going under the radar.
and getting himself in the box and getting himself on everything and fighting and leading. Like Granit Xhaka's leadership is underrated, and I think Martin Odegaard, is the club captain officially. And don't get me wrong, Martin Odegaard is leading this team very well. Like he's expressed and demonstrated his leadership abilities. But let's face it, I think Granit Xhaka is the de facto leader of this team, and he's really been galvanized as being the veteran in the room. Granit Xhaka is like the oldest one out there. When you think about it, he's like the only one that's bordering on 30 years old, and his wealth of experience, him and Oli, and but he's even older than Zinchenko. His wealth of experience is really rubbing off on the boys, and he's taking this team up in hand, and he's taking Odegaard up in hand and allowing Odegaard to be the captain, but definitely helping Odegaard to develop into a great leader. And Granit Xhaka's role on this team is absolutely invaluable. Great player, and it always makes me feel good because Odegaard often gets substituted in the 80th, the 84th. It makes me feel good when Xhaka, gets the armband, because it shows that there are two captains of this team. And Granit Xhaka is definitely one of the captains of this team. So every time Odegaard gets substituted and Granit Xhaka gets the armband, it just gives me a sense of satisfaction just to know that, yes, Xhaka, you are indeed one of the captains of this team. And he's definitely showing it this season. But
Yeah, and the other team that played in this game is Tottenham Hotspur. Now, obviously, I love it. But should they just blow it up right now, sack Antonio Conte and start all over again?
I don't think they should blow it up, but I just don't think Antonio Conte is the man. Like, Tottenham, in every single game, even against Arsenal, shows that they can play remarkable football. And there is a 10 to 15 minute stint in every single game of football that they play where they look like the best team in the world, where they look unstoppable, whether it be versus Manchester City or whether it be versus Manchester United or whether it be versus Liverpool or Arsenal. There is a period of game that Tottenham will definitively dominate. And there is absolutely nothing that no one, not anyone at all, can do about it. Why then does Conte feel like he needs to sit behind the ball and relinquish position? And I'd understand it if it was successful, because I'm a pragmatic guy. So if that's what you're doing, if that's what you're going to do to win games, then I'm all for it. But why sit behind the ball, give a position to a team like Arsenal, go down 2-0, and then start to play good football?
Yeah, because he could have done that from the start, and it's just negative football.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's negative football,
defenders.
man. And the talent.
But you're too talented in midfield to be playing like that. The only reason people play that way is because they don't possess the talent in midfield. But you have outstanding midfielders. You have the likes of Sa, you have Horbier, you have so many good players. And then you have creativity from Son. You have the likes of Richarlison, who comes off the bench, and not to mention Harry Kane, who is one of the best creative attacking midfielders in the whole entire, one of the most creative attacking players, sorry, not an attacking midfielder, people. I know that Kane is a striker, but Kane is one of the most creative attacking players in the whole entire world. And yet still you just relinquish the ball and have Harry Kane run up and down like a headless chicken. Have Heung-min Son playing like a right back or a left back. What's the point?
Man, you don't play three defenders and bench Richarlison. It doesn't just play 4-4-2 or play 4-3, play something. But you don't leave Richarlison on the bench and play three defenders. The man he started Dyer, he started Langley, and he started Romero. You don't do that and leave Richarlison on the bench. I don't care. You're at home one. You're in a North London derby that you're expected to win. You don't start with three defenders. You just don't play that negative. Also with a midfielder like Højbjerg, that is a defensive midfielder. Yeah. And a defensive midfielder. He has no attacking game. So I don't understand Tottenham at the moment.
Can't get it.
Let's talk about another player though, another team though. Manchester City, where they robbed against their rivals in the Manchester derby. What's that goal offside?
100%. Unequivocally. And they might talk about this new rule or whatever. I watched a clip, and had Rashford not been in the play, Akanji would have had a direct path to that ball to play it right back to Edison, and Edison would have restarted the game just like normal. But because Rashford was there, Akanji had to run around Rashford, allowing Bruno Fernandes more time to get to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously affecting play. Rashford served as a shield to shield Akanji for the ball. And when I saw like there was an edit which removed Rashford from the play, and you saw Akanji had like 5 meters to get to the ball as compared to Bruno Fernandes, who had like 15 meters to get to the ball. But because Akanji had to run all the way around Rashford, because if he had ran straight through him, then that would have been penalty, right? That would have probably a free red card. So Akanji couldn't just run straight through him to the ball. He had to run all the way around him, hence impacting the game. Definitely offside.
Man, the rule is interfering with play, and I don't understand how that's not interfering with play. Rashford is damn near almost
controlling the ball.
Not even almost, he's shaping up to kick the ball.
Yeah.
He's over the ball, matter of fact. His guiding foot is there to kick the ball with his left foot. He sets his guiding foot, by the way. If you watch it again.
You don't think that affects Edison?
Of course, that affect Edison's position. If he's not there, Edison would not be in the position that he's in.
Yep,
He'd probably still be on his line because then his defender would have been in a position
yep.
to win the ball. He would not be so far out the goal. You know, it's just nonsense to me. And this is what I don't understand about VAR. And that's why some people say just do away with it. Because yes, the wrong decision would have been, upheld anyway. But at the end of the day, the linesman made. Matter of fact, the linesman made the correct decision.
Yeah,
The linesman said
yeah,
that it was
yeah.
offside.
Linesman
They went to
called
VAR and they called it back. So we have to think about corruption. What is going on here?
What the hell is going on?
Me don't even know if this is incompetence anymore, but it is just straight up corruption. Old Trafford, they just couldn't lose this game. I don't know what is going on. This is madness, and if the rule is interfering with play, I can't imagine how you can see that and think that that is not interfering with play. If the rule is, did not touch the ball,
Yeah.
no, onside, 100% onside,
Sure.
and then that would change football forever.
Yep.
That would change how the game is played. So that is not the rule. So I don't
Messi,
want to hear nobody tell me about touch ball.
Messi would have about 20 more assists in his career.
Imagine people that go stand up in an offside position and dummy ball and chill, man, and like how basketball said pick on them thing there. It would change football forever. So it's not about touching the ball. He was interfering with the play. He affected multiple players' position, and that made him offside. Similar to a player blocking a goalkeeper's vision. You're interfering with play. You don't have to touch the ball. So when people try to, and at this point, I even say Man City, Manchester United people holding it, and I don't understand this. Yes, it's offside, but we'll take it.
There's no
I
way.
understand, but
There's no way that's not offside.
anybody coming to the defense of the referee here is just, they're crazy and don't really understand football. Let's talk about another game though. People say that this is an upset, but when we look at this season, it is not. And it is Brighton over and Albion beating Liverpool 3-0. What is going on in the Merseyside, bro?
I don't know.
Both of your teams doing awful, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. Brighton plays very good football. Brighton plays a bit more direct than they played with Potter, but it's still a good look. Brighton they definitely changed their way since Potter, but they still look very good. McAllister is coming off of a World Cup championship, playing with all the confidence in the world. Danny Welbeck scored what I think was the goal of the weekend, dude. Oh my goodness. Danny Welbeck was doing Neymar type stuff.
Yeah.
That was a Neymar's goal in my opinion. But Liverpool, I don't know. I knew that they would miss Van Dijk, but they were.
Is it just stale? Is it just stale? Because they were playing bad before even Van Dijk though. Is it just stale right now? People just understand now the way that Liverpool plays football and Klopp is a bit sussed out at the moment. Has it just gone stale?
Or is it a case where their players aren't playing up to the level that we expect? Like, for example, had we replaced Fabinho with Thomas Partey and replaced Thiago Alcantara with Odegaard? Would you have and replacing Matip with Saliba and probably replacing Alisson with Aaron Ramsdale, replacing Mohamed Salah with Miguel Almiron or Bakary Saka? Would we then see Liverpool looking better? So is it a case where the players just aren't bringing their game?
And you see, mental fatigue is a serious thing.
Yeah.
And being at the highest point or the highest level of your game for, let's say, the last 5 years, it's been Man City and chasing Man City and chasing Man City. And yes, they won the Champions League and they won the league, but I feel like it wore on them, man, and chasing Man City all those years definitely wore on them.
And has it worn on Man City?
We are going, yeah. It could be a thing where it's wearing on Man City, but you have to understand, if you play the same way for 5 years, at some point teams will have a better understanding of what to do when coming up against you. And unfortunately, I feel like mental fatigue also contributes to the way that they're playing. Mo Salah is still Mo Salah. He's still getting into certain positions, but he's just not putting the ball into the goal. Fabinho looks kind of beyond it at this point. I don't understand the fall off. Last 2 years, Fabinho was one of the best midfielders in the world. This year, he's so far off it. Thiago Alcantara getting substitution at 68. Things that I can't even believe that I'm seeing. These players are just so far beyond it, and maybe it's just time to freshen it up. See, they got Cody Gakpo. I believe is a good buy. Not going to change Liverpool fortunes right now, unfortunately for me. They also have Darwin Nunes, who I don't believe will change their fortunes right now, and I feel like he's 2 years removed from his best self. So we're not going to see any immediate solutions right now. What I think they need to do though, Klopp just needs to get. I see him complaining about money and funds and transfers. I believe that they just need to, switch it up, change it up. Sell Fabinho, sell Thiago, sell Matip, and just freshen it up and get some new faces. And Klopp just probably need to add that one or two more tactical,
Or
to
or
his
or
plans.
or is it time? Is it time to push Alexander Arnold and Robertson up the field? Add a
Up the
third
field.
central defender, add a third central defender, and play with Henderson and Fabinho in the midfield, and have Salah and Gakpo be inverted and play
Um,
midfield. Could it be the time for that?
the thing is, I feel
Or
like
put Henderson and Fabinho holding and just allow Trent and Andy Robertson to go forth and do
the
what
thing
they
is,
do.
Trent is a great right back, and Andy Robertson is a great right back. Seeing them at midfield could be a thing, being at right midfield or left midfield, but playing them as attacking players like wingers, I don't know how successful that would be.
Not as in play them at right wing back.
Or
Not
at
at
right wing back, yeah.
yeah.
And
That-
start with three defenders.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Is it time to just play with Henderson and Fabinho in the midfield?
Clap
Put
no
a-
place up, bro. Clap no place up. Clap thing is all about the 4-3-3, high press,
Yeah,
counter press.
yeah, but that's the thing. So it's time to switch it up. It's time to freshen it up. So it could be play Kanate, Van Dijk when he's back, and Matip. Have
Or
Kanate,
Gomez.
have Kanate sweep the team or whatever, and you play Trent Alexander-Arnold high up the field, and not force him to do as much not force him to have as much defensive responsibilities. Because though you're playing with a five, you're still playing with two outstanding defenders, and if you have Fabinho and Henderson in that midfield, that would take so much weight off of Robertson and Alexander-Arnold to defend, and you're just like, okay, Trent, go for it and make things happen. Have Salah inverted, have Gakpo inverted. Who knows? That would allow Trent to not worry about defending as much. Robertson has been very good this season. He's been Liverpool's only bright spark this season. I think that would even bring more out of his game. And I
Yeah.
think Klopp would consider probably go into this position. Not play defensive, but probably introduce our next central defender and push his wing backs higher and have them be the creative spark, because we're not getting it from Thiago.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
getting
It's something to consider.
we're not getting it from Oxlade-Chamberlain. We're not getting it from Fabinho. He's not spreading the balls and distributing like he normally does. We're not getting that creativity from Salah. Diaz is out hurt. So I think push
That is out.
Arsenal
Firmino.
off the field and
They're suffering with injuries, to be honest. So maybe
Yeah.
that is something to consider. To get any form of consistency, you want to have your best players out there. Your Firminos, your Jotas, your
yes.
Diaz, your Van Dijk, and all those players. So I understand. But at the same time, Liverpool supporters, I feel like one thing I have to say, because I'm kind of picky with the fan thing, and I'm not really take football off from anybody. You see these Liverpool supporters that started to support Liverpool just 4 years ago or so. Enjoy some Conference League and some Europa League, man. Yeah, man, suffer a little bit, man. Yeah, man. But can I believe every football supporter, and before you get my respect, you have to go through some dirt with the team. You have to suffer with the team a little bit.
Boy, and speaking about suffering is the team, Chelsea managing to get a result, but let's talk about Chelsea. They've been poor.
Man, and I hope they don't sack Graham Potter, because Graham Potter is a really good manager. I like the way Graham Potter play football, but it's just not working at the moment, and it's a bit inconsistent. In the league, they're not bad, but just overall, the performances are hit and miss. Even when they win games, you find that their performances, based on their performances and the result, they're a bit lucky to win these games. Even this Crystal Palace game, they could have lost this game. Crystal Palace had a lot of chances to score. They just couldn't manage to. Ariza Balaga Kepa, he played really good, outstanding, making some really good saves. But just overall, it's just not quite ticking, and maybe he needs just 1 year under his belt. We saw where Arteta's run started rocky. Ten Hag run started rocky. Even Klopp and Pep, their run started rocky for the first couple of months. Maybe it's just not every manager get that new manager bounce, and unfortunately, I don't think Chelsea is getting it. But I also don't believe that their policy helps. Just going and getting Mudryk, or just going and getting Felix.
Players who don't fit.
They don't fit.
Random players. Bro, I'm telling you the truth. when Chelsea outbid Arsenal for Modric, I was not upset about it.
No, Modric is not. He's not. Modric is not a $100 million player. He's
I,
just not.
I was not upset about it. I was like, your chemistry is going good right now, and I don't think that's necessarily the position. Like, if I was the Arsenal manager, I think the first thing I would do if I had a lot of money, I would buy. Apologies to Ben White. Sorry, I call him Benjamin affectionately. Apologies to Ben White. He's been so good. I'd go out and I'd probably buy a Hakimi or somebody like that, like a solid true right back.
You
That's
know what I
what
would buy? And apologies to Granit Xhaka. I just go out and buy another a box-to-box midfielder who's just at the top of his game.
like
So
true.
obviously, I like Granit Xhaka at this point.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've made a 360. I like Granit Xhaka, but I believe that there are other places. The point that you're making, there are other places that Arsenal needs.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Get it.
necessarily go from Mudryk. I would take him. I would take him, and I would take him. He's a good player, so I would introduce him into the team. But I am happy that Chelsea outbid us right now. That's not something that we need in our team.
But even Chelsea, what are they going to and what is happening with this financial fair play, bro? Like where are these players going to go? When Sterling come back, where am I gonna go? ZH, we'll talk about Pulisic. Where are these players going to go? Potter now have two teams to play.
on the
They bought the left back Cucurella, and they
Yeah.
still had, guy from Leicester, his name again, Chilwell.
Yeah,
And
when they unloaded like
Alonso.
Alonso, sent him to
Yeah.
sub. I think they'll be doing a lot of unloading, but
Have to,
the
have
January transfer window is almost coming to an end, so they'll be stuck for the next 4 months with a ton load of talent that don't fit. They just don't fit. The thing about this Arsenal team is that they fit like a glove.
you don't need to have the best players. You need to have the players that are best for what you want to do. So there you go. Obviously, let's run over some of the other results. We don't necessarily talk about them. Southampton getting a big result at Everton 2-1. Nottingham Forest picking up a big result at Leicester City. I feel like Leicester City wants to sack Brendan Rodgers, but they just probably haven't found the manager that they
No,
want.
but every single time them go for sack him, Leicester put together like 4 runs of beautiful performances, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we can't sack him. And then as soon as Leicester play good, like them just drop back in a slump again and just lose some games that they shouldn't be losing. And it's like, how do you manage to just look like you're going to make a push for the Europa League after starting like a relegation team and then start playing badly again, like just losing that weird game? I don't get it. Leicester is so inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree. West Ham, David Moyes with a talented squad, but just being very inconsistent. In fact, not even inconsistent, just being poor.
I think it's time to take the $170 million for Declan Rice and distribute the wealth like the mid-table team that you are. Like, I think they've been trying to keep good talent together, but West Ham is not that. West
The push
Ham
is just not coming. The push is just not coming. They were in the Europa League 2 years ago, and the push is just not happening. They expect to keep the Declan Rices, and they got the Scamacas, and they had the Lanzines, and all those players that are talented players, trust me. But it's just not coming together. They're just not breaking into that champion. They pushed in it for the last 2 years. They pushed on that top 4 spot, sitting in top 4 positions for numerous months, and then just at the end falling out of it and going all the way down to 8 and 9.
I don't think they have the capability to do it. I don't think they have the resources. I don't think they have the name to do it. West Ham is just not that club. So I think at this point, they cash in on Declan Rice, distribute the wealth, and try to be a Europa League team, rather than trying to keep the Champions League talents and just not putting the pieces around them. So
And how long will he settle for that, knowing that you're on the verge of being the best midfielder in the world? Because I believe that Declan Rice has that talent. He's just not in the system. Declan Rice in Man City or in Arsenal or in Liverpool could possibly be the best player in the world, the best midfielder in the world.
He starts in all of those teams. I think up against Rodri for Manchester City, he probably starts. Up against Thomas Partey, based on form right now, it's Partey, but Declan Rice is probably a better player. He starts 100 out of 100 times in Liverpool and Chelsea. He starts in Newcastle. So I think they're cashing right now. And
He goes to PSG and he starts. He goes to Juventus and starts. He goes to Real Madrid and starts. He goes to Barcelona and starts. He's that good.
So cash in before this guy becomes a free agent.
Yeah.
Don't let Arsenal get him for free.
West Ham lost that game 1-0 to Wolves. It's not a team that you want to lose at the moment.
Yeah.
Brentford picking up those points. They won against Bournemouth 2-0, expected to get that result. Newcastle, man, they will just not stop. And I expected this game to end in a draw. They beat Fulham 1-0. Crazy. Newcastle are a serious threat. And I believe that people need to take Newcastle serious now before them pull a Leicester City and win a Bridget.
They're not
The thing is, they have one game a week. You see me? Everybody, they are kind of an underdog in the top four thing right now, where nobody really expects them to finish in the top four. Now, I obviously expect them to do that because I'm taking them serious at this point. No, but people are expecting them to do a Leicester City a couple years ago or a West Ham, where they're in the top four, they're pushing and they're beating a couple teams here and there and sitting in the top four, sitting third or sitting fourth, and then at the end just fall out. That's what a lot of people are expecting.
That's not
Not
them.
me. I'm actually expecting this team to push for the title, bro. They are that good and their coaching is so good.
I think though Newcastle will stay in the top four, I think they still have the odd loss in them here and there, which will prevent them from competing with Man U, Man City, and Arsenal. So I think they will finish.
Man United.
I think they will finish. They will finish in fourth place and get a Champions League spot. I genuinely do believe Newcastle are the real deal and are one to look out for. But I don't think they'll be competing for the championship. But Newcastle big team. Kieran Trippier, Nick Pope,
Man, take
Burn,
them serious. Believe me, take them serious. Newcastle, they're on the rise.
and Manu. We can finish it off with Manu. We can speak about.
Manchester United. Oh my God. I said it. I said it a couple months ago that Manchester United supporters, they can start to get excited because Ten Hag is a very good coach. The thing is that his football is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. But he gets the result and he knows what he wants to do. He just gets the ball to the attackers and allows them to be free. I don't necessarily see much systemic play from them. I don't necessarily see the tactic that he's funneling through the team. But they win that ball fast. They get it to Rashford wide. Bruno plays that ball. He doesn't hold on to it. You realize Bruno leg of the ball?
Yep.
Bruno play those two passes. He's getting the ball over the top. He's spreading the ball wide. I just getting the ball to Rashford. And Rashford is just, being the man for them at the moment. So man, Garnacho just stepping up for them.
Yeah, that's what I was
Ten Hag is where they started.
Rashford, outstanding player right now for me. It's between Rashford and Odegaard for players of the season to this point, and Haaland, of course. Oh no, Haaland hasn't scored in one game. He's now the worst thing.
Two game.
He scored the game before last.
No, Alan has scored not 2 games now, Bridging. Not 2 game week now, Alan has scored. Or 2 games.
Haaland never scored this week, but didn't he score the week before last?
Think so.
He did. He never scored. He never played in the cup games. But I think
so.
All right, let's see.
Alan did not score. Game week 19 did not score. Game week 20 did not score. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
The 2 game week. Is it time? Fantasy show come for the people. Fantasy show come. Is it time to take Alan out to your team?
Has
We're
Haaland
gonna get to it. Eh?
dropped form?
Huh?
Has Haaland dropped form?
Ooh, it's a conversation to have. Obviously, I want to give him one more game, and I want to give players 3 games.
Well,
So I'm going to give him one more.
Play Tottenham tomorrow.
All right, let's see. People, still the talk that in a bro. Another one, as them would say. Are we that? I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. I really enjoyed this episode. Some good talk. We spoke about Coach Hargrimson touching down on the island and hitting the ground running. We also spoke about the Almanic versus Alda Costa Cup game. And then we ended up the conversation with the Premier League show of the week. Then we spoke about Man City getting robbed. Spoke about Arsenal being the best team in the world. We spoke about Chelsea and Leicester and West Ham and some of those teams that just can't quite get it together. And then we spoke about Man City and Holland. We spoke about, we touched all bases, basically. People, it was a good show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have anything to add to the discussion, put it in the live chat, please. Please put it in the live chat. Put it in the comment section. Talk to us. Communicate with us. We're there in the live chat, man. So do it. Anything else you want to say to the people before we go, bro?
Not much. Just love this side at Sports TV.
Yeah, and a lie. People, for no, not yet. Don't forget to like the show. Leave a comment on this one and subscribe to this side at Sports TV. One more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people to ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can do that, you know how many subscribers I'll get us by the end of the day?
Yes. For now, this was Studio Talk from this side at Sports TV.
And we're out.
We're out. Another one.